Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of New to Weeaboo. This is number 84 for November 2nd, 2022. I am Nemesis, and I'm joined by Alcatraz here.
Hello.
Yes, it is November now, I guess.
November
November has arrived, and yeah, that also means you probably already heard of the weird thing with the Simpsons and Death Note animators, and yeah.
Holy crap.
That's a thing that's actually happened.
That is a thing.
I've heard it's actually a pretty good segment. So, I'll have to check that out because apparently it's on Hulu. Day one, if you have that in the U.S. Everywhere else, it's Disney+. Yeah, beyond that, Laid Back Camp is getting a third season. The anime.
Cool.
Eurocamp, if you otherwise. Yep, that's getting a third season. We'll see how that turns out because I still got to actually watch the movie because I think that's coming to Crunchyrolls or something. I don't know. I haven't been able to watch it because I haven't been able to go to the theater in a while.
Yeah.
And there's that. And at least for me, I'm really happy because apparently they're resuming the Zombieland saga Nendoroids with Ai Mizuno. And I'm quite pleased with that because they kind of stopped after Junko. I was concerned. I'm still a little concerned because I know that those three are the most popular in Japan. I'm worried they'll just stop there because, we don't have to go any further.
No,
yes, you do.
You're missing a couple.
You're missing 4 of them.
Yeah.
I don't give a crap about Kotaro.
Wow. Yeah, at least get Saki, right?
Saki, yeah, but I need Tai. And Lily.
Yeah, definitely.
I need them all. I need all of them.
All of them.
Except Kotaro. Who cares?
Except Kotaro. He's
the manager. Who cares?
You're going to make it... does anyone come with Romero? Gotta get the little dog, too.
Yeah, Romero.
That would be cool.
I don't know.
But I don't know if any of them would come with that one. Watch. Kotaro would come with Romero as an accessory.
I would.
That if you want the
much.
dog, that's what you got to get.
Oh no. Anyway. Yeah, we're not here to talk about that stuff. We are actually here to talk about other idol stuff. Love Live Superstar Season 2. It is very much has been a thing, and we watched it, of course, because I'm always going to watch a new Love Live.
We can never escape idol.
You'll never escape. I will make sure of this. If you try, I will grab you and throw you right back and down to the dirt and make you listen to Snow Halation again.
It's like Hotel California.
Yep.
Oh yeah, speaking of idols, apparently Northwest Idol Fest just happened this last weekend.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's a local idol con.
But anyway, so Superstar Season 2, if you don't remember, it's Superstar is the one that focuses on Leela. They are a brand new unit from a brand new school, and started off with 5 of them as first years, and now with Season 2 is moving into their second year, and that's a kind of brand new ground for Love Live because almost every single other one of them has been within a single school year, so this is kind of a new thing. Yeah, the original 5, Kanon, Shibuya, Kukutang, Chisato Arashi, Sumire Kiyana, and Haren Hazuki all have moved on to the second year, and it's more or less it's them trying to make up for the fact they didn't make it to the past regionals for Love Live, and they want to renew themselves and get into that, and they also are hoping for new first years to join, and eventually over time over the course of the anime 4 new ones do show up. Kanako Sakura Koji, Meg Yonemi, Shiki Wakana, and Natsumi Onitsuka. Onitsuka. There we go.
Onitsuka. Yeah. Onitsuka.
Those 4 eventually join over the course, and 9 of them are Leela now. That's the new thing. Is Leela is now 9 members, and they go on to, after many trials and tribulations and whatnot, win Love Live. And then there's also a whole thing with Kanon gets an invitation to a foreign music school, and then that's where this season ends.
There's 3 or 4 subplots that are going on. Small subplots that tie into all of it.
Mm-hmm. That's the gist of it.
Yeah.
So I've noticed in general, weirdly enough, this season has gotten a lot of mixed reception from the fandom. A lot of calling it the worst season of Love Live ever because I don't know, because hyperbole is a thing on the internet.
You expect nuance out of internet commenters?
I'd hope, but alas, it never happens. It never happens.
There's no sense of nuance on any sort of opinions on the internet. You're not allowed to have nuance.
Well, I'm going to try to have nuance anyway. I'll fight that tide.
And if you want to argue with us, please do so in the comments.
Yeah, do so, please. I dare you.
It increases engagement.
So yeah, of course this season, there's a couple big things going on. Yeah, again, it's the 5 original characters are now dealing with being second years. The 4 new characters. One of the big things is the 4 new first years struggling to keep up with the original 5. That's one of the big things, and to the point where even there's a genuinely serious discussion about them performing at Love Live without the first years. Because basically the idea that might improve their chances, because the first years sometimes view themselves as kind of dead weight, fairly or not.
Which kind of ties into
another
before
subplot.
They join thing too.
There's a whole other subplot there too.
With them struggling to get new members in the first place.
Yeah, because everyone has this perception that they're
going
too good. They're too good,
down.
And we can't drag them down. So that becomes a problem. Then there's also another thing with Cuckoo and Sumire, which is like Sumire knows Cuckoo as possibly might have to go back home to Shanghai, and she doesn't want that. And Cuckoo's trying to keep it quiet. And there's the whole thing of like, if they don't win the Love Live, Cuckoo leaves, and there's a whole bit of drama there.
Yep. Like I said, subplots that tie into each other.
Yeah, my thing about this season overall is I generally liked it, but I will also acknowledge there's a couple messy points about it, namely the subplot regarding Kanon and the middle schooler whose name is not Japanese. I'm trying
Was
to
it
remember.
Vienne? Margaret.
Yeah, Marguerite or something. I think it's Vienne Marguerite. I'm trying to remember her name specifically.
Yeah, it's because it's Austrian, isn't it?
Yeah, she is Austrian.
So then you get the fun point of we hear it an Austrian name said by Japanese speakers. So that may not even be correct when we hear it from them. So yeah, it's a fun one.
Yeah, me and Marguerite.
Austrian is a dialect of German, so it's gonna tend to follow.
Yeah, I would say anyway.
I
would say that subplot was not handled particularly well because it just kind of was nothing, everything all at once, which then ties into the bit at the very end, which I would feel the last few episodes don't work super well.
Yeah, and I'll echo on that one how they brought up and resolved that issue,
and also in a really weird way too.
It was weird. Yeah.
So there was a whole thing there, which we and Marguerite is a middle schooler who shows up and just blows everyone away with amazing singing ability and everything, but she also thinks she's way above the whole school idol thing. And it turns out the only reason she's in the competition is because she got rejected from the music school her sister went to, and she was getting offered a bit of a lifeline with like, hey, if you win a competition, we'll let you in. So she goes to somewhere where she thinks it's an easy win, namely the Love Live. She thinks it's going to be super easy to win this, and then she doesn't do it, and she's very upset with herself. And then to add insult to injury, Kanon gets an invitation to the school that she wanted to go to, and then in terms of the deal have been modified, namely she can come back if Kanon accepts, and she's going to be learning singing from Kanon.
Yep.
Just to add insult to injury, I guess.
Yeah. So that's a serious slap in the face. And then the resolution of it, how it all turns out.
The resolution. We'll get back to the resolution in a little bit. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Her whole thing, most of the anime is just kind of showing up, saying Kanon's name, and then kind of being all aloof and then disappearing.
Yep.
She's pulling a Batman of Kanon turns around, talks to someone, turns back, she's gone.
Yep.
It's like, great. I can just imagine just hiding in a bush waiting for everyone to not look at her anymore.
Yep. Puff of smoke and then dives in a trash can.
I can still see you. No, you can't.
Yep.
That's that's one of the big ones.
Yeah. Well, that's the main overarching, I guess.
Well, kind of one of the main overarching one is coming back and winning the Love Live this year after being taken out before
taken out in the regionals.
Yeah, because they're looking for we're gonna go against Sunny Passion in regionals again, and then
nope,
Sunny Passion was taken out via Marguerite earlier.
Yep.
Which a lot of people also have issue with that because he set up the rival group last year. Now they're barely a thing in this season.
Yeah, they show up a couple times in video chat and that's it.
Yeah, and it's like for me, I'm like I don't know. It's not a big deal.
They're the secondary characters.
I mean, they're kind of used as in a sense of like, like you see them in like a lot of just stuff like, oh, there's a big hyped up the bad guy or whatever, and then they're taken out by the worst bad guy.
They got wharfed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and so that's a thing, and some people are not happy about that because
they had their time as the big secondary.
I think people are hoping for another Saint Snow.
Season. Oh, well, yeah.
It's like there's no Saint Snow.
We didn't get any of that this time.
Before we get into more into the subplot stuff, I want to talk a little bit about some the new characters. Yeah, the first one that we got was Kanako Sakurakoji, and she's very much a country girl from Hokkaido, and not used to the heat of Tokyo.
Yep.
Kind of a bit naive, doesn't know about school idols, accidentally stumbles across everyone. They just all assume she's going to join. She's like, I just was lost. And then she winds up joining. Now you've been
found.
She winds up joining anyway because she kind of gets, they perform for her, and oh wow, this was really cool. This is just kind of a weirdo, to be honest.
Yeah.
She's kind of again the naivety, very much the country girl,
the country bumpkin.
Yeah. It's just, so that's a whole thing there. That's the thing. She was really struggling early on because she just could not keep up with them at all. She would just so like Cuckoo in the previous season, just kind of dies.
Yep. They actually bring that up too a little bit. They mentioned that. I was just like that.
Yep.
You can do it. I did it. See.
So that's a couple things. So she joins and shows for a while Leela's a 6-member group, and then So then she also meets May Yonemi.
May.
Yeah. Who is, let's see, she is first year, who is a redhead, a bit tsundere, and she plays the piano.
Where have I seen this before?
Do you know a Maki? May. And her name starts with M.
And her name starts with M. And ends in I.
She's very enamored of school idols and makes it pretty obvious, but of course whenever anyone says anything to her about it, just, no, I'm not. Shut up.
I'm not.
Shut up.
I'm not interested at all.
And Kanako's a little scared of her. And it turns out the reason May's always glaring at her is not because she's angry, it's because she's squinting because she can't see crap.
Cause she needs glasses, but she doesn't want to wear them because they're not cool.
Yeah, that's the thing. She gets easily embarrassed and whatnot. And there's also the whole thing like later on she's more open. Once she can be more open about it. The tsundere thing kind of goes away once she realizes she can be open about her love for school idols.
Yep.
There's a whole thing where they like see her room. It's just tons of idol stuff everywhere in her room, and like she sometimes nerds out with Cuckoo, and like they even made a blatant reference to the original school idol project with Muse. There's a DVD she has which is super rare that Nico,
the legendary set.
Yeah, that Nico was talking about and Hanyo were talking about back in that one. So that's a little reference right there. So yeah, she's a fun one, honestly.
Yeah, she is a lot of fun. She has a really close friend, though.
Yeah, really friend.
Her.
Yeah,
Best
Shiki Wakana. Shiki. Very reserved, very much into the science thing.
Yep. Wears a lab coat.
Yeah, wears a lab coat, builds her own little devices, has used them a couple times, much to other people's chagrin.
We do not explain how these devices work.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. She more or less latched herself to Kamiko once and just launched her into the practice space. Here you go. Yep. Bye. Keep running. I can't stop running.
Yep.
Yeah, she's also the one who, because for a long time, May was just absolutely refused to join Leela because she just will watch it, even though Shiki can tell she wants to join, so she joins, which more or less kind of forces May to, put up or shut up.
Yep. Yeah, Shiki joins in heavy air quotes. It was
it hinged on May joining. Yeah, she's also very kind of shy, and like her and May. Actually, the weird thing is the two of them go through a whole thing where they kind of discover they're both kind of May and Shiki are both kind of loners.
Kind of, yeah.
They just kind of the two loners are just kind of gravitated towards each other.
Yep. Yep.
And another thing about Shiki there is she's blatantly in love with May. They don't really hide that. They don't hide it, really. They kind of talk around it a little bit, but like if you look on the outside and like the biographical stuff and whatnot outside of the anime, it's like she says her favorite thing is May. And beetles and butterflies.
Yep.
But
yep.
May's one of her favorite things.
May is number one.
Like they don't even hide it. And then at one point there's things happen where she don't toy with my heart, May.
Yeah. That
vague implication in one episode that May probably reciprocates, but yeah, of course, once again, because it's Love Live, it's vague and they don't ever really commit
explicitly say.
However, I don't know if that may change down the line because another franchise has very much pushed it. Because if you heard D4DJ, that is another musical franchise. They just announced new characters, a new unit, and they confirmed outright no tiptoeing around it, no
weasel words,
no kind of winkings and then nods. No, blatantly said these two characters are in a romantic relationship.
Cool.
Outright. So yeah, it's one of those things where Love Live has always been very cagey about it, but times are changing.
Yeah,
they might actually go for it. But I think this season kind of shows the furthest they've ever really gone. I would say, I would very much argue that this season shows the furthest they've ever gone with any sort of romance between the characters. Although, looking back, there's a couple times when previous Love Live things they've kind of gone down that road.
Yeah, what was that last Love Live that we watched?
Nijigasaki?
Yeah, with the two doing on the stage.
Yeah,
that whole thing.
Yeah, there's that. But beyond that, there was also in the School Idol Diaries, I think they called it. It's the manga where Rin confessed to Haneo straight up, and they didn't really show, but they had the close, they did basically just a shot of their feet with them really close together in such a way that they're very close. So there's only two things they're really doing. One of two things they're doing:
a warm embrace,
or. Regardless, they made it very clear that Haneo accepted Rin's confession.
A warm embrace of their lips.
Yeah. There's the other one, which is a Nozomi. They kind of talked around it, but trying to make it pretty clear that Nozomi is a lesbian. She talks about how she never really considered boys ever until she's starting to hang around with all these girls, all these cute girls. And now, maybe romance wouldn't be so bad. It's like, Of course, there was Riko and her Dojin. That whole thing. And of course, Nijikasaki, Ayumu, and you.
Yep.
That. Just that.
That.
And then, yeah, so they've
always kind of, like you mentioned, or the wink and nod.
And some of it, again, more blatant, like I said. Some of that's more blatant than others, but...
never outright. So hopefully we'll
We've never seen outright yet.
Outright confirmations. That would be nice.
Yeah. Shiki, I think I would say Shiki and May is the closest they've ever gotten, at least in the anime.
Yeah.
It's the furthest I've ever gone, and so them and there's the other two, which we'll get into a little bit of that later. And the final new member of Leela, Natsume Onitsuka.
Natsumi.
She's all about the money.
All about the money.
You've got to have money.
Doing whatever you can to get money and be popular, to get more money.
It's about the money.
Yep.
There's some big implication that I remember seeing that there's some implication that there's a reason for that. It seems like she may not be growing up in the best of circumstances.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. Yeah.
I don't like her.
I don't know, but yeah, she's about very much about the money, and there's the whole thing is when she didn't even join them first. She just was like, I'm going to be your producer manager person. I'm going to handle all this stuff for promotions and stuff, and I get all the money.
Yeah.
And they kind of made the deal, and it's like, that's the worst deal ever. But it's like, we weren't in for the money anyway.
Yeah.
We weren't making money before.
Yeah, their whole idea is we don't have to do anything different. We don't gain anything, but we're not doing anything different.
Yeah.
But we'll gain, we'll gain more promotion, and that might help us.
Yeah, she's also got gradient hair.
Yeah, she has a gradient hair. It's blonde, but
pink.
it comes out of pink on the tips.
Anyway, yeah, so that was her whole thing initially, but then she kind of wound up because there's a whole thing with her, like she had dreams, and they all led in failure, and she just kind of gave up on having dreams for herself. And then Kanon talked to her and was like, and then now she's joins Leela, and now she's the 9th member. And
Yeah.
I mean, she's still about money, but she also knows to tone it down a bit sometimes.
Yeah. She might be on a better track now. She's getting better.
Yeah.
Still not my favorite.
There's also a couple times she and Shiki were very much willing to go to underhanded tactics in order to take out Wien.
Yes.
Very quick.
Yes, I think their moral fiber is a little thinner than the rest of them. Although, if I remember, Natsumi and Sumire had butted heads a bit because of... It wasn't Sumire the one who figured out that she was making a crap load off of him?
No, Sumire was the one who kind of suspected that the Natsumi's intentions were not entirely pure.
Yeah.
She was the one who first, because Sumire was there in the first season.
Yeah.
She was the one who's there just, joined Lita just to advance her own career initially. Yep. So
she's the one who was in show business.
Showbiz.
Isopod.
Yep. Giant isopod. How do you know about that?
Yeah. I will say Natsumi, while she is all about the money, she does know how to produce stuff. She does have some skill in that matter.
Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things, she's at kind of that weird thing, because she has the skills, but unfortunately no one's noticed.
Yep, and it wasn't until she started producing stuff for Leela, and that name, attach that name to it, and that's how you get noticed, and all of a sudden tons of views and followers and whatnot.
Yep. Yeah, Mei and Shiki's whole thing, and Shiki and Mei have, always been hanging around each other, and then they had their little hand-holding moment.
Yeah.
But then there's, let's see, another subplot was, which one to go? Oh yeah, Cuckoo, going to Shanghai thing, and Sumire eventually pushes the issue by, fine, forces the issue with the whole fine. If you're not gonna do this, I will make sure to, I will force this by, when they were at that point where okay, where they're deciding, do we leave the first years behind or do we perform with them? And Sumire pushes, no, the first year should not be performing. Because she basically, her whole thing is, I'm willing to be the bad guy in order to ensure that Cuckoo stays.
Yep. Without saying why.
Yeah, she pushes it. And Kanon got really angry about that too.
Yeah. She basically fell on her own sword.
Yeah. Just to make it work. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it kind of all...
But that also then forced Cuckoo to go, no.
Yep.
No, we're not doing this. I'll say it.
Cuckoo's whole thing was, I want everyone to sing together.
Yep. Even at the cost of herself. And she was like, no.
Yeah, so they kind of forced the issue and also forced yeah, because I know that was the whole thing. Yeah, it's Cuckoo and Sumire. Yeah, man, that was the scene. The way that scene was going, God, you thought almost like, are they actually gonna do it?
Just kiss already.
Yeah, because the rushing and the hug, and it's like, dang it, they hugged and didn't. Oh, I thought for sure for a second. It's like, wait, did they? Oh,
aww.
But yeah, the whole thing was like, I hate you and I love you.
Yep.
Because that's one thing I think people pointed out was Cuckoo is just utterly mean to Sumire for no good reason throughout the anime. And almost in the context of that episode, I would say almost it feels like Cuckoo's trying to intentionally push Sumire away.
Yeah, that is a thing.
Don't get attached to me.
Yeah, if you think you're going to have to leave, you want to, if I break the relationship now, it's not going to hurt you later when I leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those self-destructive things.
Yeah. That's almost what it feels like. Because after that episode, they're still picking at each other, but it's not as bad. Because Cuckoo just literally just blames Sumire for everything wrong. It's Sumire's fault, clearly. How?
Clearly.
How is this my fault? There was... I think my favorite episode, most people's favorite episodes, was You Are Ren. As in you are the ultra rare cards and everything. Ren discovers video games.
Yep.
It was a wonderful episode and pretty much confirmed that, yes, I was right in choosing Ren as my favorite. Yeah, Ren discovered video games and got so obsessed with them that she forgot about everything else, including sleep. And
Who needs sleep when you have video games?
Yeah. And then she was ashamed of that. She was so ashamed that she just wouldn't tell anyone that, it was video games causing her to just have trouble. And then May discovered it. Ren tried to then get May to, help her out by holding onto the key to the game room so that Ren couldn't play anymore. And then Ren passionately pleading with May for help more. And then everyone misinterpreting that because they see how it looks and they're like, that looks like a love confession. Shiki was not pleased by that. Everyone else had varying degrees of shock, including just the good old, oh God, this will be a scandal. Who knows how we're going to survive Love Live if people discover two of our members are dating or something. And then it turned out to be a misunderstanding.
It's all just a big misunderstanding.
And then, that's where Shiki was like, after all, Shiki just can't even move anymore. Just too gay to move. Needs May to carry her home. Don't toy with my heart, May.
It was a good episode.
It was a fantastic episode.
It was a good episode.
Probably one of the best. I would actually say one of the best of the entire franchise. By itself,
it's a lot of fun. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for, because it's different sort of content.
Oh yeah, the other thing about it was nice was it also pretty much confirmed that none of Leela would be homophobic. That's nice.
Yeah.
But the other thing was also very much the spot the console. Which console's which? Because Ren got so many ones exclusively obscured, and like odd ones for Japan would be really odd. Like she has an Xbox Series X. Like that's odd for Japan.
Yeah. Although I heard
gets it 360. She got an original Xbox, a Pippin.
Yeah, freaking
Atari Lynx, a Jaguar.
The Jaguar. Wasn't there a Neo Geo as well?
Yeah, there's a Neo Geo. There was the Satellaview Super Famicom.
Yeah.
There was the Sharp NES, which that's a very specific kind of NES, which was very rare. She got a regular NES, but actually she got a top loader NES, which means she got an American model NES.
Yeah, the VCR.
Not top loader, front loader.
The front load. The front load, because we styled them after the VCRs.
Yeah, she had the front loader NES, which means that's very rare. She had an Oculus, an Xbox 360 again, and Nintendo 64.
It was a Quest. The VR headset was a Quest.
Yeah, right, it was a Quest. Yeah, anyway, right. She had a Nintendo 64, Mega Drive, Master System.
Freaking Master System.
Game Boy Micro, Game Boy Advance.
There's just a ton of them. Almost any.
The full Tower of Power for the Sega Mega Drive.
The full thing. God.
PS4. No PS3 or PS5 though.
Yeah.
Even she can't get a PS5.
God.
You had a PS2 and a PS1 as well. Or PlayStation, I should just say, because PS1 is technically a different thing.
If you spell it out ONE.
Yeah.
It's the little micro one.
All those different games. And also, of course, a Switch. And a gamer chair. And
yep. Oh, she had a whole PC, whole gamer PC set up.
She had arcade cabinets, and it was just wild. Just what she does. All it's like, man, some of this is here. And then we also discovered later, she straight up had the original PlayStation, that the one that was made for Nintendo.
Yeah,
she just had one of those,
which wasn't even a PlayStation. It was the Sony's SNES CD add-on that.
No, it was called the PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah, it was called the PlayStation.
Because it was just an attachment to the NES.
Yeah, but it was still called the PlayStation. It was going to be the Nintendo Sony PlayStation. They called it it was, if you look at the prototype, it says PlayStation on
Interesting. I thought they had a different name for it.
Nope. It was a PlayStation. But yeah, the original thing, the thing was, if it's like those that are out there, it cannot play disc anything. The disc drives and most of the ones that survive don't work, and sometimes some of them play the cartridges, but it's a whole weird thing. Regardless, it worked as a Super Nintendo or Super Famicom, but it didn't. Most of them, like the disc drives, just don't work anymore. And good luck. And there was nothing really made with the discs in mind.
Yeah, well, it was never the Nintendo one was never officially released.
No, it wasn't. That's the thing. That's what makes it more impressive. She has one.
Yeah, there's very few
got
out there.
There's like 3 prototypes out there or something like that. So yeah, it's one of those. That's money, all right. That's money to have one of those. Utter ridiculousness. Yeah, that episode also opened up with her basically playing Beat Saber. Yeah, I really liked that episode. But yeah, the other thing was, yeah, so a big final subplot was this is the thing was so Leela got to the finals of Love Live. They beat out Wien, and they got the finals, and it was just kind of they won. There was no fanfare to it. They won, which is kind of odd in of its own right, because most of them make a big deal out of winning the Love Live, and they just like, we won, whatever. The big deal was winning the regionals to get into the finals, and then this is where the final two episodes got weird. Okay, Wien is out. She's upset about it. Kanon finds out the whole, she was rejected from school, music school in Vienna, and blah blah blah, all that stuff. And then she gets the invitation to go to Vienna. She turns it down initially because I'm going to stay here. Chisato, who at this point has gotten over the season, has gotten a lot more how do I put this? Drive. I don't know the proper term for that.
Moxie,
gumption, motivation, I guess. But yeah, she's like, she's become the president of the club, for example. Because I kind of realized they didn't have a president.
Yeah.
And then she became president of the club because at first everyone's going to push into Kanon to do it.
Everyone just kind of assumed.
And then she's like, I'll do it. And then she's the one who also tells Kanon to, no, you need to go to Vienna.
Yep.
Because this is how you're going to make your music be heard around the world.
Yep.
And so Kanon folds to her and just decides to go to Vienna. And then we end with, she's not going to Vienna.
Wien just shows up and goes, nope, I'm taking school here now with you.
Yeah, which is like, what?
What?
But she has a little like V. I noticed she had a little V pin, which is like, And it just, didn't you hear? Yeah, it's like, didn't you get the letter? It was in German. We couldn't read it.
Yeah. So it's like, no. It's like first, that's what I said. It was just a mess. The ending's a mess.
The end. So yeah, it ends with Kanon confused and go. Yeah, that ends with literally the first time I've ever seen them end with a cliffhanger in Love Live. Yeah, because this is like literally the beginning of their third year now, and now they confirmed season 3 is coming, and we'll see more of that, and we're likely going to see Wien, for better or for worse, probably joining Leela.
Yeah,
and the thing is, people noted that these characters and their hairstyles particularly tend to line up with the zodiac or the astrology signs and whatnot. So it's like we're getting 2 more members beyond Wien. So we're going to have 12 total.
Oh boy.
And we'll see how that works out in the end. They've already opened auditions. That was one thing, was they opened auditions for that, or actually by the time you hear this, auditions will be open for those 2 spots, I guess.
Yeah.
And we're going to have 12 members total, and it's going to have a third years, that they're going to have now. We're going to have, once again, third, first, and second year, all 3 years of the school.
After a while, it's hard to keep track of all the different members. So many different main characters. At least in this case, since you're adding them bit by bit over seasons, you have time to really establish the characters, and then next season you add a few more and you can establish them. You don't have to worry about it. Not like opening first season with 12 characters. Oh boy. Not enough time.
Yeah. That's the thing about it's just, it's clear we're going to get more members. They're going to do more stuff. That was the thing, though, that whole thing was the Kanon going to Vienna thing was just really all over the place, because they're like, no, she's not going to go.
I'm not going to Vienna.
No, I'm going.
I'm going to go.
No, you're not going.
No, you're not. It's like,
the weird just undoing the previous decision in rapid succession like that was a very strange writing decision.
Yeah.
To the point, makes me wonder something changed behind the scenes that we weren't all totally privy to. Almost like either A, my 2 theories are either A, they didn't know they're getting a 3rd season. They just assumed, like every other Love Live, they're getting 2 seasons, right?
Right.
They assumed that, and so they wrote in such a way, okay, she's going to be going to Vienna, and then they were told, no, we're doing 3 seasons. And they had to at this point, they're too far in, they had to very quickly undo it.
Yep.
So you get that weird thing. So basically, she makes the decision not to go, then she makes the decision to go, then the decision's taken out of her hands entirely.
Yep.
And then
wouldn't be the first time I've seen something like that happen.
Or just simply there was they knew full well, but they're trying to mess with the audience a bit just to cover up the fact that they're the 3rd season coming. So because it would make sense, like, if you have the whole thing, we're getting 2 seasons of the movie, you'd have, Kanon going to Vienna, and then part of the movie probably be wind up with, Leela in Vienna or whatever, right?
Right.
Makes sense, because they did it before. I mean, Muse went to New York, Aqua went to Europe.
Yeah, that would make for a good movie, Nope,
that was not the case. And the whole, and they didn't really, like, all we know is somehow Kanon got accepted, but now they're changing something, and I suspect
Isn't there
the
an
thing
implication of like the Vienna school and their school now have like a partnership or something?
Well, they didn't say it as much, but all we know is they got a letter they couldn't read because it's in German, and now Wien shows up in their school's uniform, Yugakoa girl school uniform, but she also got a little pin on her thing, which might be a personal pin, but also might indicate some sort of weird,
exchange
program or something. Which cool. Congratulations, Kanon. You've been accepted as an exchange program with your what?
What? You enroll to the Vienna school and then immediately go into the exchange program back to where you came from.
This doesn't seem right.
It's God. The thing is that there's probably a lot of stuff like that in real life just to handle some weird bureaucratic
Anyway,
paperwork stuff.
This all basically made it so the Love Live victories is kind of almost an incidental footnote.
Oh yeah, by the way, we also won the big thing the entire show is named after, but we don't care about that. It's not that big.
Yeah, we won. Okay. Anyway, moving on. It was a very strange writing decision, so which I think that's what soured people on this one, thing, because it was at the very end. That's what kind of really.
You always remember the beginnings and the ends.
But then I was looking, a lot of people were already saying it's a bad season before that, so it's just I think a lot of people also, they're upset because Kanon was involved in a lot of the subplots. Like, with Natsumi, she talked to her, it's got her to join Leela properly, talked to Kanako one-on-one, and so on and so forth. Well, she was the one who, like, motivated a lot of it. So a lot of people are upset. It's like, oh, it's the Kanon show. It's like, yeah?
Wasn't it always?
She's the main character.
Yeah.
It's always been her show. Where have you been in the first season? She's the main character. This is, one would argue, it's not Leela's story, it's Kanon's story. Leela's just happens to be a big part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's weird to me that people are upset the main character is
my waifu. It has to focus on my waifu.
I swear that's the running thing, is the main character is one of the least popular in the whole group every single time.
What are Love Live fans? A bunch of hipsters?
I have no idea.
I have to like the non-popular one.
Well, that's the thing. They all like the popular ones. It's just that the main character always winds up being not the popular one.
Oh.
Like, I remember there's a poll for one point for, like, the members of Muse, and Honoka came dead last.
Wow.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think it's just people just kind of were upset that Kanon it gets the majority of the spotlight, and she was involved in a lot of the resolutions of the subplots. So because it's like, it's her story though. She's gonna. Although sometimes it is kind of, Kanon's kind of a funny character just because of her, very much, she wants to sing, but also being part of the spot. Like, every single time they turn the camera towards her, she just bails.
Yep. Does not like being in front of a camera.
Ren is funny just because her whole thing is, like, she's just out of touch. And, like...
out of time.
Like, she doesn't even know what a kotatsu is.
Yeah.
How do you Japanese and not know what a kotatsu is?
Yeah, well, she's the rich one who lives in a mansion.
I know, it's just funny, though.
Doesn't have to deal with the day-to-day... Yeah.
And so on and so forth. They're just, like... Kanako's weird because she keeps doing these weird things. Like, there's at one point she's spinning on one foot. It's like, what? She's funny just because she's
got weird little ticks that she does.
Weird little ticks she has. I don't know. It's I would say it's overall still fun, but yeah, it is noticeably weaker than season 1. Mostly because the ending is just kind of a mess.
Yeah,
it's a very messy ending.
It
and
is.
Some of this, and the whole Wean subplot is also kind of, again, like, nothing happens it's like she's there the entire time. Nothing happens until the very end.
Yep.
She literally just says Kanon's name a lot. then just kind of then just tries to intimidate her and then runs away. It's like she is such a middle schooler. That is such a middle school thing to do. It's funny in that sense, you know.
It's funny, but it's not supposed to be, and that's the problem.
Yeah, it's just kind of just. What a dork. She thinks she's you know, it's the middle schooler thing. Like she thinks she's so cool, but she's just a dork. That's yeah. There's no like before. There's no threat to the school shutting down. It's just there's no big overarching problem like that. If their whole thing is just we just want to win the Love Live because we didn't win last time,
and this time they did.
Stakes are a little lower in a sense for most of it, and they try to raise the stakes, and yeah, that's where things got messy.
Yeah. So I kind of think that's another one of the reasons why people might think it's, you know, not as good, because yeah, it's messy, but also with the lower stakes, it doesn't have kind of like the same intensity to it. Like, oh, what's gonna happen? It doesn't have any of that, so it's just like comparing it to the rest of them, it's I guess more mundane.
Yeah.
Of a season.
But I'd also say, but at the same time, it's like it's pulling away from what a lot of the other ones, the two of the other series have done, which is, oh, we got to save the school.
Yeah. So I guess it's not a bad thing, but because it's different, some people are going to go, oh. But yeah.
I don't know. I've seen some of the same names popping up where it's like someone's complaining it's too much the same as the previous ones, but it's also then complaining it's too different. It's like, what do you want?
Oh yeah, we get that fun one.
I'm just remembering that Simpsons. There's a Simpsons episode where they get a bunch of the kids to focus test for Itchy and Scratchy, and they give them such contradictory answers. They have no idea what to do. Like, so you want a grounded, zany show? Yes. But you don't know what you want, do you?
Yep. And I think that happens on a lot of really popular media. It's like looking at the Star Wars fans. You complain that it's different, and then when they do something that's the same, they complain that they're just copying the story. It's like, but that's what you asked for.
That's why focus testing to death is often, kills things.
Yeah.
Because they don't know. It just winds up being bland as hell because that you're trying to please everyone.
Yep.
I still overall enjoyed it, and I am very much looking forward to season 3 because this is kind of new ground for Love Live. We've never gone through 3 years of school for a character, and we've never, gone to 3 seasons.
Yep. Right.
So we'll see. We'll see how this works out in the end.
Yep, we will.
I'm still also looking forward to the Sunshine spinoff because that's Yohane.
Yep, that whole thing.
And then we're getting the Nijigaseki spinoff, which is comedy shorts. So that will be fun.
That will be.
And now VTubers. Oh yeah, they put out the trailer for the VTuber thing. Love Live VTubers.
Love Live VTubers. Everything gets VTubers.
A whole new group, like 5 characters or something like that, 5 or 6 characters. We'll see how that works out because they've always been really good about getting the anime stuff translated to English pretty quickly. But a lot of the other stuff either gets very slowly translated or never gets translated.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they're going to do VTubing because they're doing live streams. I don't know how scripted they're going to be or whatnot because it's Love Live. I have no idea. I don't know how they're going to approach it. They might just be like, okay, here, you're a VTuber. You remember, you're part of the brand now. Don't screw this up. But it'll also be, okay, here's a script. We're going to pretend.
Yeah, that could be. If they do this, yeah.
It could be also a weird in-universe thing where it's like, no, see, it's an anime about these girls being VTubers.
Yeah.
That could still be interesting, actually.
It could still be interesting, but it's a very different style and take on things.
It's a new ground, but it's weird. Hey, look, they're doing something new. This sucks. This sucks. Why isn't it like the rest of it? Shut up.
Yep. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that was good. I think just messy.
It was good, but messy.
Just not as good.
Not as good.
Just messy in the end. Really messy. So that's it for this one. I think we babbled a bit right there at the end, but
babble. We always babble at the end. That's just
try not to, but it always happens.
Always happens.
So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, you can check out other episodes at newtoweeboo.libsyn.com, spelled Labsyn. You can subscribe to the RSS feed there, and check out episodes as they come out. And you could also subscribe to us via Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or Amazon Music. I do not know what's going on there anymore. I tried to do stuff, and I don't know what's going on. On top of that, apparently Libsyn's overhauling the website stuff again.
We have to overhaul it all the time to make sure everyone knows you're relevant, right?
So there's that whole thing. I'm going to have to go in there and poke at that and see what's going on so I can, because they're going to depreciate the old website stuff. Like, oh, cool. You're going to break everything. But anyway, you can subscribe to us any of those places. Search for New to Weeaboo and find us there if you want. And of course, you can contact us via email, newtoweeboo@gmail.com, if you have any anime recommendations or feedback regarding the episode. Whether or not we are on the mark with Love Live or totally wrong about Love Live, or just why you keep talking about idol anime. Or whatever. Of course, we're on Twitter for now. We're at New to Weeaboo. That's a... that's the thing about it. Everyone talks about, I'm going to leave Twitter now, and then 2 weeks later, I'm back on Twitter now, because they find out the other social media places, alternatives actually kind of suck.
Yeah.
So, let me show you that. We're there for now, but who knows how long that will last. Anyway, I think I'm running out of places to go.
I'll make a Mastodon or something. I don't know. Frick.
Who knew? 3 people use Mastodon.
Well, a lot more do it. With Mastodon's a weird one because it's decentralized and all that.
Exactly, that's part of the problem. It's kind of one of those, you solved one problem, create a whole new one. Anyway, there's that. And of course, our personal Twitters, I'm a Nemesis Prime 1, and he's at Alcatraz with 717 _ at the end. Follow me if you want Transformers. Follow him if you want Utao. Or Vocaloid.
That's a lot of Teto.
Yeah, it's mostly Teto, occasionally Miku.
Occasionally Mikus, and every now and then some other stuff, but yeah.
That's it for this one. Join us next time. We'll be talking about the fall season of anime for the year.
Yay, our next sampler platter.
Yep, sampling some anime. We already got those chosen. We're going to talk about those.
Yep.
See how that shook out. Hopefully well. We'll see, though.
We shall.
Goodbye, everyone, and take care.